Hello, everybody. Do you know what I'm gonna do now? That's right. I'm going to react to the. Oh, damn, didn't mean to click on anything. Yeah, this one. Yeah, yeah, it came out like yesterday or something. Yeah, I'm gonna make a video reacting to it and also to let everybody know that when it comes out, in on like Christmas or something. I mean, honestly, yeah, I'll start like uploading like little shorts where I review each episode as they come out, and also I think I might also just not only will I do that, but I will also make videos where I compare the episodes to the chapters of the books that they are adapted from. Because well, to be honest, I don't think Dominic Nope is going to do it since he since I don't know. Does anybody watching this know Dominic Noble? Yeah, this guy. This guy here, right here. He's famous for his Lost in adaptation, reviews. This one is a April Fool's joke right here. This one, April Fool's. Okay. I see it says in the title, so I don't need to say it. But I don't know if it said April, but I remember that being an April Fool's one. But yeah. He has the Lost in adaptation season. A long time ago. So did for Harry Potter. However, ever since J.K. Rowling, published those tweets about how she doesn't want, trans people participating in women's sports, and that caused a lot of outrage, and the people, started calling her, just transphobic and all that. He has come to conclusion that J.K. Rowling is transphobic and has just he doesn't really I don't think he likes J.K. anymore. I actually haven't seen this video before, and I just remember yeah hold on, let me just pause. Yeah, anyway, as I was saying, I don't think Dominic was going to do what he did for the films for the TV show or something. So I think I might as well do what he did and all that. That's right. I'm gonna be the new Dominic Noble. Just kidding. I'm not going to actually make it a long running series like he has and all that. Yeah, I'm not gonna replace him. Except when it comes to like I don't know Harry Potter stuff because I don't think he wants to do it. So no, I'll do it for him. That. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Anyway, enough about that. Then again, perhaps I ought to just hmm. Perhaps I ought to check this out and all that. Like see what his plans are and all that. Before I actually commit to doing it, or maybe not. Hmm. Oh, Jack Rat, come upload a new video. I did not notice that. Huh. Perhaps I ought to check that out. Yeah. Okay. Honestly, yeah. Let's focus. Ooh, I like his short. This is a very nice short of his. Hmm. Nice, nice style. Right. Okay. Hmm. 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 Right. Right. I've turned the mic up so you can hear me a bit better. you know, yeah, I think I'll start like leaving it right here and all that. After I have in passing and gotten some comments about how people just can't seem to hear me. And maybe I should get a better mic, or maybe I should get better talking, or maybe I should try turning it up like this. I don't know. I don't know. Right, anyway, let's get. Oh, uh, yeah, yeah. Let's get into the real meat and potatoes of here. Hmm. Man, just imagine this. Just half of it isn't even about the actual trailer.
Did you know the Walmart app has over half
That's
a
right.
billion
Right.
items?
Yeah. Hmm. Okay. You know, honestly, one thing that I don't like about hitting this button right here is that, without hearing the echo from here, I somewhat wonder if people can still, hear me, just talking to the mic and all that.
She knew.
I mean,
He
it's kind of
knows now.
ridiculous. Like,
Knowing is a
obviously,
beautiful thing.
yeah, this shouldn't affect
Walmart you
the
thought you
microphone,
knew
but
is now
and
new.
I guess it's just a thing.
I told you.
Right. Anyway, let's get into it. In fact, actually, after this post, I'll always check out this video. And yeah. So yeah, let's see what it's about.
I told you. You are no.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Quality here. Okay. HD.
I told you.
Okay, there you go. Looks better now. Okay. And the quality seems to once I put into full screen. Good. Anyway, on with the video. And with the real meat and potatoes.
I told.
Okay, so first off, okay, looks. Okay, now it looks like I think this right here is. Okay, this kind of looks like Uncle Vernon right here.
You.
That's obviously hit. Wow. The cover looks even worse than it did in the films. Wow.
You are a normal boy. And you're going to start acting like one. Start acting like one.
Is that supposed to be Dudley? Because if that's supposed to be Dudley, then he isn't near fat enough to be Dudley. Of course, then again, I guess that's something the films did. Yeah, because even in the films, the actor portraying Dudley is not near fat enough as Dudley is in the books. Yeah. And so another thing. Yeah, let's just. Let me just. Nope. Wait. Let's. Okay. Not how, but I just
You are a
use the.
normal.
Okay, let's just use this one here. Up. Okay. Close enough. Yeah. Anyway, right here. I don't think it looks skinny enough. I don't think the kid playing Harry Potter looks skinny enough. I think we need to start the actor a bit.
And you're going to start acting like one. You think you're something special?
Oh, I see they, got made on to Petunia Blonde like she is in the books. Oh, being a bit, okay. Oh, I'm impressed. these people really are trying to be a bit more accurate to the books. At least superficially, anyway. Oh, we all know how accurate they are compared to the films once it comes out, or judging by the fact that they'll be able to have a lot more time than the movies did. They'll probably, just be more accurate and all that.
There is nothing special about you.
Mm-hmm.
I've always wanted to know about my parents.
Your parents were the kindest, bravest people I ever met. They were funny and clever.
Oh.
They were
Alright, here we got Nick Frost as Hagrid. I could say pretty good job so far.
funny and clever. They stood up for what they believed was right.
So they put the skull on right here instead of in the center, looks like. Huh. That's a bit odd.
The next time I see you will be in Hogwarts.
Oh, they got the Weasleys there. I wonder why they made made the skull over to like this side of the head instead of in the center there. I don't know. I think that's kind of a useless change. Yeah. Yes, we can. Nice, exciting, overly dramatic trailer music. Don't you just love overly dramatic trailer music? Like seriously, see, whenever you see one of these trailers, they always just have to just make the music as over the top dramatic as possible. Just so dramatic and welling and inspirational and stunning and all that. Frankly, it's a little bit overkill in my opinion. Oh, interesting. Seems a bit smaller, but still nice. Still pretty good and nice. Very nice.
Mr. Potter.
Yeah, I think I like the shooting hat in the films better. That hat looked way more, old and raggedy and all that. This one, it looks too nice. I said, no wonder why is everything? It feels like everything's a little bit darker and all that. Like, and I don't just mean the lighting. Like, I don't know. Like McGonagall's, clothes, look black instead of a dark green. And also, this looks black instead of brown. I like. I think the hat looks better if it's brown, and all that.
I think we can expect great things from you.
Oh.
Let's see who you are.
Well, I see we're seeing the herbology here. Oh, very nice.
Are you really Harry Potter?
Cute. Well, this looks cute. Quite nice. Oh wow! Top comment here. That's a bit I mean there. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Ah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, it certainly is. Yeah. Yeah. Every trailer for every TV show and every movie these days one of the same music, don't they? Yeah, yeah, exactly. They're always the same kind of music. Hmm. Why is the music akin to something you'd expect from Mission? It doesn't look. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Honestly, it's pretty good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I also know my same thoughts with the characters as well. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. That's true. I know that. Hmm. Honestly, I think I'll try to just yeah just when I like start reviewing the series and all that. I think I'll just try to ignore all the films as much as possible and all that. Like try to make it sure that films aren't less as a factor. But that being said, I don't think anybody's going to replace Alan Rickman. I know that, like, honestly, Alan Rickman is, I mean that person is, yeah, that person is just Snape. Hmm. No, I mean honestly, I'm okay with good being different and all that. No, I think the actor for good is pretty okay. The new actress for McGonagall, seems decent. Hmm. But honestly, I'm not too certain about the casting for Snape, though. I don't know. I mean, honestly, no. I wonder how they're going to make the actor for Snape has have long greasy hair, because Snape has long greasy hair and all that. Like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I know. I mean, in all fairness, I just kind of realized the didn't showed Snape in the for less than I say. Oh gosh, yeah, that is so true. Okay, well that's a bit rude. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. I don't understand this comment. I don't understand this comment either. The good old days when things used to come out on VHS. Yeah. I think they stopped making VHS tapes when I started like towards the end, like when I started to. I think it was around the time when I started like middle school that they stopped making VHS tapes. I mean, honestly, I don't think they make VHS tapes anymore. I think they stopped making VHS tapes. Hmm. No, honestly, one thing that I dislike about making so many videos, reactive videos of the TV show Liberty Kids, is that I think I'm getting more suggestions for kids videos. Hmm. Huh. Yeah, that is true. It does seem a bit darker than the original, than the first Harry Potter film. Okay, now I'm confused. So should I say, when it comes to the first one, should I say Philosopher's Stone or Sorcerer's Stone? I mean, I'm American, so I unfortunately got started with the Sorcerer's Stone version, but honestly, I do think a Philosopher's Stone sounds a bit more natural and all that. And all that it's. Plus, I mean, in reality, that is, what the type of stone is called. I mean, honestly, I mean, no, on one hand, no, I get why, people, why the publishers just were concerned about people not knowing what a philosopher's stone is, because honestly, I didn't know that what a philosopher's stone was when I was a kid. No, whatever. I mean, honestly, I don't think most people, unless they have somewhat of a interest in alchemy, know what a philosopher's stone is. That like, in fact, most people learned what a philosopher's stone is from Harry Potter. Like, for most people, that's the introduction to a philosopher's stone. Mm-hmm. But yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that being said, no, Sorcerer's Stone also just sounds just as fun. So, like, I mean, there's no such thing as a Sorcerer's Stone. So why not just call it a Philosopher's Stone? Or why not just stick with Philosopher's Stone? In fact, honestly, I mean, sure, I guess, most kids are a bit more familiar with the word sorcerer than philosopher, but, like, still, I mean, I don't know, I guess it seems like a pretty useless change and all that. And that just ended up, costing everybody, some more stuff, and just added to just some unnecessary confusion. I mean, overall, no, I think they should have just kept the title Philosopher's Stone. Hmm. I feel like most of the negative comments are coming from, just people who just can't seem to deal with the whole remake thing. I mean, honestly, I've lived through the entire 2010s, and that was a decade full of remakes, where people were constantly remaking things, rebooting things. And honestly, that still not slow down. So honestly, like, I don't really care. Plus, like, honestly, I've kind of wanted this actually. I mean, I guess that's another reason is that I kind of wanted there to be a Harry Potter reboot. Except although instead of live action, I always wanted it to be more of a cartoon and all that. And that it would be better if we were to adapt the Harry Potter series as a animated series and all that. In fact, I also think that's a better term, not cartoon, but animated series. Since people don't really like the term cartoon and all that. If it's you call it a cartoon, or it's for little baby children and all that. People just don't have near enough respect for animation as they should and all that. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I always know that it would be better for to remake it as a animated TV series, like a television series. So that way you would have more time to put in all the details from the books, but adapt the books and all that, and animated. So that way you don't have to worry about casting the right looking people. You can just read the books and just base it on that. In fact, honestly, I feel like this series wouldn't face near as much controversy if it was animated. No, that in fact, honestly, if it was animated, then they wouldn't even have to worry about just finding people who look the part at all. They could just draw the characters the way they are described in the books if it was animated and all that, and just focus on finding people who sounded correctly or not. Like, seriously. It had so many, just potential problems. Could be avoided if it was animated. I think that's the biggest problem is that they decided to make a live action series instead of an animated one. Much better if it was animated. Honestly, I think this is where I should be the executive when it comes to these things. Okay, I should be a studio executive and all that because I actually know what how to actually make a good have it. At least I think I know how to make good television series. At least I have some good ideas. And that I don't really actually have any experience, but I think my ideas are at least better than these studio execs. Like seriously, why not make it animated? Like seriously, if they made it animated, they would not need to worry about people getting all angry about how they decided to cast a black man to play Severus Snape and all that. Like seriously. And also, another thing is that people also talk about how, this isn't McGonagall, this isn't, the version of the characters I grew up with, because if it's animated, then you don't have to worry about that whatsoever. Yeah, it's just completely pointless and all that. And honestly, the funny thing is that I thought that the best way to adapt the series would be animated TV show, and I came to that conclusion when I was a kid. Okay, when I was first reading the Harry Potter series. Okay, like I think I first started it. Before I even began in middle school actually, and in fact, actually, I first came up with that idea when I was doing elementary. Like seriously, like elementary aged me is smarter than studio executives. Okay, like seriously, like. See, 10-year-old me would do a better job at at these executive jobs and these executives and all that. The people who own these things, all these CEOs, all the just higher ups for all these big mega corporations, they're all completely idiotic, stupid dum dums. They have no idea. We should replace them. Okay, they're too stupid, and because of their stupidity, they're ruining this country and all that. Okay, the people in charge of all these corporations are too stupid to do their jobs well. Okay, and it's destroying the economy, it's destroying people's lives, it's destroying the planet. Okay, we need to just replace all the higher ups. All the higher ups should be replaced with the people who are actually intelligent, because the people who run these companies are not intelligent whatsoever. They are just absolute idiots all around. We're surrounded by complete idiots. Right. Good grief. Good grief. This video is 30 minutes long. That's good. Let's make it a little longer. Let's see this one.
Adobe Acrobat.
After this annoying ad, that's Papa going to try to tell me about how they got AI. Oh wow, AI assistant. Wow, incredible! What a brand new revolutionary idea. Oh boy, I just love AI. Oh, I just love eating all that delicious AI. Glorious, wonderful AI. I just love AI. Don't you love all this artificial intelligence that all these companies just love ugly just shoving in, just shoving in, let's just shove in the AI. Doesn't matter if it helps it or not. We need to shove it. Okay. The stockholders love it whenever we talk about AI. Saying time you even just mention AI and saying, oh, the stocks suddenly just go go 100%. Just said the words high, and boom, all the stocks go up. All the stocks go up whenever they just say high. It's just mad good. It doesn't even need to be. They don't even need to do anything. They just need to just write AI on it, and boom, they have made just $1 million. Okay, they're a billion times richer now, and all that. Yeah, completely stupid.
Millennials are going bonkers as the HBO.
Gosh, millennials. Silly millennials. Because if anybody's going to hate the new HBO Harry Potter series, it's the millennials. The millennials are seething right now with anger, like, oh no, not my precious childhood. Oh wow, it's they're just ripping it up and violating it. The terror. Meanwhile, like the older generation, like the Gen Xers, Generation X, and the Boomers, the baby Boomer generation. They're just sitting there, looking at the millennials and are like, first time. What is this? The first time Hollywood is doing this to a franchise that you grew up with? I mean, honestly, like on the bright side, I mean, at least he's trying to do a good job this time. I mean, it looks like they're trying to do a good job, which is better than what they did with like Ghostbusters, Star Wars, just ton of other media franchises. Like, just look at the Terminator films and all that. Like seriously, it could be a lot worse. Okay, like, if anything, they should be grateful that at least they're trying to do a good job. And also, it's not. This isn't exactly like one of those Disney remakes. Okay, it is actually different. Okay, it's not. I mean, if it was a film, then I would probably have a lot more problems and issues with it than I do. But because it's just a TV show, because they're doing it in a different format, I'm actually quite open to it, to the idea. Like, yeah. I mean, honestly, it could be. Well, I mean, honestly, there's some parts of it that the films will always, do a better job. Like, honestly, the sets for the films are definitely going to be better, and the actors are going to be better and all that for the films. But but yeah, I mean, honestly, it's not raising the original films out of existence. No, and I mean, the so which is better than what happened with Star Wars with the special editions where George Lucas said to just make it impossible for anybody to see the original versions of the films and all of that, which honestly, I don't think he should have done. He should have just made it possible for people to look at both versions and all that. And honestly, if just Lucas had made it so that people could have access to like both versions, and then the hatred for the special edition in Star Wars films, so there wouldn't be so much hate and all that. But yeah. I mean, sure, not all of the criticisms are like unfounded. Like, yeah, there are some good criticisms, but yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know.
Millennials are going bonkers as the HBO adaptation of Harry Potter has released its first trailer. The conflict here is between old meeting new. The Harry Potter films from the early 2000s created an entire generation of fans.
Yes, and honestly, I'm one of the people who grew up with the films. Okay, like I remember seeing the first films when I was a kid. I never saw any of them in theaters and all that, especially since the first one came out in what? Let's see. Now, when did the Harry Potter one? Okay, let's see. let's see here. Okay, when did Potter come out? Okay, yeah. I mean, the first one came out in 2001, so like, yeah, they started coming out before I was born. I was born in fall of 2002, so yeah, I never saw any of them in theaters and all that because like by the time I was like old enough to like even like see yeah to even remember it's just I mean well okay but yeah I mean honestly I was too young to see any of the later films in theaters and all that like yeah like the third one came out in like um okay yeah that's the book. Okay, maybe if I just okay maybe this should do it. Okay, yeah, it is the film. Yeah, 2004. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like in 2004, I was like, well, why I say because it depends on the month, but yeah, I was either like the 1 years old when the third Harry Potter film came out, and there's no way my parents are going to take a little baby to see that. Okay, that film is really rated R, but I do remember like seeing it on DVD, years after it came out. So yeah. By the time, so yeah, like by the third film, it like the film. Yeah, so yeah, and so I never saw any of the Harry Potter films in theaters. And although I do remember, my sister Abigail, seeing the last Harry Potter film in theaters. Like I have a memory of like yeah, just coming home after seeing it or something. Well, I think that's the memory of maybe it was the when the book came out or something. I don't know. It might have been when the last book came out. I don't know. It was either the last movie or the last book coming out. And like okay, yeah, book. Okay, yeah, book 7. Hmm. Yeah. Actually, yeah. I think it was the film. Yeah. Because yeah, it was definitely the film because he had popcorn and all that. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I grew up watching the Harry Potter films on DVD, and I remember reading all of the books. I've read all the books, a couple times, and I don't know how many times I've seen the films. But I've seen the films a few times, especially the first few and all that, because the first few the first like couple of them the kids films.
The Harry Potter films from the early 2000s created an entire generation of fans, many of which believe a new take on it is wholly unnecessary. These fans became some of the most annoyingly obsessive purists of the franchise.
Yeah, the big Harry Potter fans.
These fans became some of the most annoyingly
Yeah, honestly, I mean the books are good, and the films are good, but yeah, honestly, I don't think I ever got as obsessed with them as other people have. My mom is more obsessed with Harry Potter than I am, and so is my sister, and so are all my some of my sisters like Abigail, Erin. I'd say they're bigger fans of Harry Potter than I am. Yeah, so yeah, my mom, my sisters, Erin and Abigail, definitely bigger fans. I mean, I am a bit of a fan of Harry Potter and all of that, but I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan. No, no. It's you gotta if you want yeah Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. That being said, perhaps I ought, call them up and ask, what they, think of the new Harry Potter HBO trailer that came out. I wonder if any of them have seen it. I wonder what their thoughts on the whole thing. Actually, I don't think I have asked them what do they think of the Harry Potter remake yet. I think their thoughts are probably a bit more interesting than mine, since, as you just said, my mom, Erin, Abby, they're bigger fans, much bigger fans of the series than I am.
Obsessive purists of the franchise, leading to the derogatory label of Harry Potter Millennial given their main demographic. As a result, when
Yeah. Anyway, I think the Lord of the Rings is better. I like Lord of the Rings more. Also, I feel like the fan base for Lord of the Rings is better than the Harry Potter fan base. And probably because, the Lord of the Rings fan base, Lord of the Rings is an older franchise. Like, the Lord of the Rings books came out in, like, the 1950s. Yeah. The Lord of the Rings came out in the 1950s, I believe. Now, look, let's see. When did the Lord of the Rings come? When was it published? Let's see. Yeah. See, when was Rings published? 54. Yeah. So yeah, the Lord of the Rings was published in 1954, while the Harry Potter series, it was published in the late 90s and early 2000s. Okay. So obviously, the fan base for Lord of the Rings, like a lot more of the people who are fans of Lord of the Rings, they're a bit older, more mature than fans of Harry Potter. And then, like, the oldest Harry Potter fans are, I guess the oldest Harry Potter fans right now are about 50 actually. Okay, now that's crazy. Now, the oldest Harry Potter fans are like in the 50s. Yeah, because my mom was born in 1973, or was it two? Okay, let's see. Okay, I need to double check. Let's see. Was it 1973 or 1972? I think it's 1973. Right? Let's see, 1973. No. 1972. Yeah. My mom was born in 1972. Oh God. So that means the oldest Harry Potter fan is in the 50s right now. Well, that doesn't seem right. That does not seem right at all. Like, that just seems weird. I don't know. Maybe just because. That just sounds wrong. Man, just the idea of that of a 50-year-old person, like, man, just like there's probably a person who's a huge. There's probably people who are huge fans of Harry Potter who are like 60 years old. Okay, no, that's crazy, huh? Well, that being said, is that by ignoring that, like, there's like the fan base for Lord of the Rings is better than the fan base for Harry Potter and all that, because Lord of the Rings fans are a bit more mature and also intellectual and smart, like Lord of the Rings fans. It's probably because Lord of the Rings fans, like, if you're a fan of the books. Okay, and that's the thing. Okay, I'm referring to, like, the true Lord of the Rings fans are the ones who are a fan of the books by J.R. Tolkien, not just the fans of the Peter Jackson films. Okay, but also fans of the books. Okay, like those guys. I mean, they're a lot smarter because they read bigger, longer books that have more complex words and all that, and so they're smarter, older, wiser. Well, people who are a lot of Harry Potter fans. The books are pretty easy to read and all that. Like, the well-written books, the Harry Potter books are well written, but they're still easy to read. So the bar of entry when it comes to Harry Potter is a lot lower. So a lot of dumber people are fans of Harry Potter, and not just the fans, but also the books. Like a lot of dumber people, a lot of younger, dumber people are fans of Harry Potter. Wow, where the majority of Lord of the Rings fans are older, wiser, and smarter. So yeah, so a lot less toxicity in the Lord of the Rings fandom than with the Harry Potter fandom. Also, just man, a lot of these Harry Potter fans, a lot of these Potterheads, are just way too obsessed with the book series that sure, also there's a lot of content and there's a lot of world, but it only goes so deep. Like it's only deep and all that. Like it's magical and fantastic, but there's only so deep you can go before you hit nothing. Well, with the Lord of the Rings, you can keep digging on for miles and all that. Like you can get real into it. Like there's a lot more, rich content and lore with the Lord of the Rings and all that. Like the world building for the Lord of the Rings is just 1,000 times better than Harry Potter. So honestly, sure, there's a lot more merchandise. Sure, there's a lot more merchandise with Harry Potter and all that. Like, a lot more merchandise, but yeah, honestly, that's mostly because when it comes to Harry Potter fans, a lot of them are still pretty young people and all that, who aren't so concerned about spending money and all that. They're a bit more loose with their money and all that. Plus, let's face it, millennials tend to just love buying merchandise and all that. Millennials really love buying merchandise. Well, the older generations have aged out of that a bit.
New actors were announced, they immediately met a wall of anger from adults, so much so that Daniel Radcliffe said in an interview that fans shouldn't be mentioning him, Rupert Grint, or Emma Watson, as that kind of pressure is weird to put on children. That being said, it would be disingenuous to claim...
when I was reading the comments for that trailer, I don't think I saw any mean comments. Of course, I didn't read a lot of comments, but I didn't see any mean comments about the child actors, was good because honestly, if you're boiling children, and then you're just a joke. Like, come on, children already get bullied enough by other children. Okay, if you're a doll, you don't need to do that. Okay, that's just a new low.
All
right
older
there.
demographics hate the new trailer. There's a clear group of millennials who are extremely keen for the Wizarding World to be brought back to life yet again, and it'll be interesting to see how this first season is received. However, on the cinematic side, within comparisons between the
Okay, no, that's a bit mean. Okay, it's not AI. Okay, like it's not AI, but then again, yeah, it does kind of look like your generic HBO streaming show. Honestly, I mostly blame the lighting. Like seriously, why does Hollywood just love just making everything so gray and dark these days? Like seriously, like ever since like 2010, it has been nothing but darkness. Like the sky is just perpetually overcast. Like it's always just a dark, cloudy day in Hollywood. Ever since, like in fact, not just 2010, but 2009. Like ever since 2009, dark, cloudy skies all the time, especially with streaming and all that. Like it's always, especially with streaming TV shows. Hmm. But yeah. The lighting definitely does make it look like look a bit too generic and all that. Yeah, I mean honestly, I gotta say, who's ever in charge of just of the lighting of all these shows needs to get fired, and we need somebody new, somebody who actually likes color and all that. Like seriously, we don't need to make everything gray. Okay, like seriously, I mean, it's like they're embarrassed to color. Like they're like they're afraid that if they're too colorful, then people will call them childless and little babies. But in reality, you just trying to be so dark and edgy. They're just they're acting like a bunch of edgy 13-year-olds. Okay, yeah, they're acting like people who are 13-year-olds who are just so scared of enjoying anything that's for kids and all that. Like they're just so determined to say, "Oh no, I'm an adult. I'm an adult. In fact, I'm just an adult. That I drink like 10 packs of cigarettes and 11 bottles of whiskey every day before breakfast. In fact, I am such an adult that I don't even need breakfast." Like it's truly kind of ridiculous and all that.
Previous films compared to the modern series today, one can spot a distinct absence of color. The HBO series looks
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, there's still color. It's not in black and white, but like it definitely just feels muted. Like all the colors were muted, and all the like they took on the vibrancy and down. Okay, they put a gray. They put a filter on and moved the sliding the scale thing, from like you move all up, all the colors really bright and pop out, and then but you slide all the way down, and everything's now gray now.
is today, one can spot a distinct absence of color. The HBO series looks incredibly washed out compared to the original Philosopher's Stone film. That being said, the Harry Potter films also suffered from this issue as they released chronologically, as one can see a distinct difference in grading between the first and last.
Yeah, that is true. And honestly, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but it does, ends up being some clever and all that, like, because it kind of reflects the kids, not like when you're a kid and everything's so bright and colorful and all that, and full of whimsy. Wow, but as you get older, all the colors, just seem less vibrant and all that, and everything seems more dark and miserable and all that. And especially if it's because as the time goes on and the books get dark and all that, like the content of the books get dark and grimmer as the odds and stakes get higher and higher and all that. So that's ends up kind of benefiting the films in a way. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but it is accidentally, kind of genius in a way. It is, accidentally kind of smart.
Movies. Allegedly, the idea was that the colors would be darker and muted as Harry and his gang grew older and faced higher levels of trauma, although this storytelling technique perhaps shouldn't apply to Harry's first year at Hogwarts on the HBO series.
Yeah, that is true.
Meanwhile, the fact that the franchise has had a chokehold on an entire generation for so long has put it under intense scrutiny over the years. Author J.K. Rowling and her questionable naming conventions have long become a bit, and it seems like she's managed to put quite a bit of distance between herself and parts of her fan base. As a result, despite the last Harry Potter film releasing in 2011, it seems that 15 years later the franchise still holds enough cultural capital for a new adaptation to be called significant, as
Oh, hey, look at the little symbol here. Okay, at Muggle Moon. I see why Muggle Moon decided to make it that video. Yeah, Muggle Moon definitely does not have any strong opinions Yeah.
Millennials and non-millennials alike can't stop talking about it. See you next time on
Yeah.
Lessons in Internet Culture.
Yeah, I mean, frankly, no, this is honestly, I'm so glad that I, am not that big of a part of fan and all that because honestly, it just seems exhausting and all that. Like, seriously, to care this much about everything and all that, like, and also and yeah, I mean, that's not even getting into all the politics regarding AK and all that. Like, it's interesting. I remember when everybody on the right was very upset when J.K. Rowling said that Dumbledore is gay and all that. Like, everybody on the right side of the political spectrum was like, dang it, J.K. Rowling has folded over to the woke crowd. But then J.K. made some tweets about trans athletes, and then suddenly all the people on the left were like, oh my god, J.K. Rowling has betrayed us, has betrayed the left, and is now a right winger. She now supports Hitler and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, yeah, in reality, I think J.K. has not changed her opinion on anything. She has kept the same thoughts and opinions she had at okay, like she thought the same things as she did in the 90s. Okay, you're just so it's just that you're just finding that out now, and yeah, honestly, I just kind of just don't care. Yeah, I just don't care. I'll check it out because yeah, I enjoyed the books and the films. The books are well written. They're entertaining. It's entertaining. Okay, that's what I'm going to say. Of course, yeah. I mean, honestly, even when the books were coming out, they were still facing controversy. Like for example, like the right age like me well, I was somewhat didn't like the books very much because it's about magic and wizardry, and it seems a bit too pagan and all that, and we're God-fearing people, and like we don't want our kids to read these books and start thinking that paganism is good and cool. We don't want our kids to become pagans and all that, and just yeah, honestly, yeah. The Harry Potter stuff, it's well written. It's well written enough that it becomes popular, and everybody sees that, and and people with a divide or some with different opinions notice it, and because the diverse opinion, they have different opinions on it. I mean, honestly, I think just I think everything is a bit of an overreaction and all that, and just honestly, it's mostly harmless. Okay, like I mean, if Harry Potter franchise is going to affect the way you think about things and see the world, then I think you have bigger issues, and it's not the book's fault that you think the way you do. Okay, yeah, you're the reason you think the way you do. Okay, like it's the issues going on in your head that's the problem. So yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Okay, no, honestly, okay, I get these comments later. Okay, okay, yeah, this. Okay, yeah, that's true. I do remember. although I don't remember seeing any of the films in cinema. I've never seen a Harry Potter film in a movie theater, but yeah. Oh, I like this one, Clark, Great Britain. Man. And you know, like I say, I like these comments. Okay, no, that's a bit fair. Yeah. Yeah, it's just the actor's accent. Okay, the actor just sounds like that. Free with thanks. I haven't seen Watership Down before. Yeah, gonna add that to watch later. Welcome, my Harry Potter fans, to the Star Wars experience. Okay, that comment's racist. Okay, not all black people are Snoop Dogg, okay? Some black people are Martin Luther King Jr. Laura, good England. Nice. Well, I think that's enough for this video. Shit. Oh my god. An hour long video where the title is I react to the to HBO series Thriller, and it's an hour long. I wonder if anybody's gonna actually watch this video. Right. I guess I'll stop recording now.